Protests continue across the country 6 weeks after George Floyd's death, and statues of historical figures continue to be vandalized. Targeted over the weekend, monuments of St. Junipero, Serra, and Christopher Columbus. Protesters cheered after tearing down a statue of Christopher Columbus in Baltimore, Maryland on Saturday night. The monument was then thrown into the harbor. In Waterbury, Connecticut, on Sunday morning, protesters discovered a statue of the Italian explorer beheaded. Some said they weren't upset about it, calling it a symbol of oppression, but others were startled by the sight.
I'm of the firm belief that we need to learn from our past and not destroy it.
Set on fire and spray painted in Sacramento, California, a statue of Junipero Serra was targeted and torn down. St. Junipero Serra was an 18th century priest who led missionary efforts in California. Some see him as a controversial figure over his treatment of Native Americans.
It's a disgrace for us that we have to drive past those statues every day and see people who committed genocide and torture on our people being glorified.
But others see this removal as an assault on their heritage, saying Serra is an important part of the Catholic religion after Pope Francis canonized him as a saint in 2015. Sacramento Bishop Jaime Soto denounced the toppling of the statue, saying in a statement, "This act of vandalism does little to build the future," and went on to say, "There is no question that California's indigenous people endured great suffering during the colonial period. Yet it is also true that while Father Serra worked under this colonial system, he denounced its evils and worked to protect the dignity of Native peoples." As for the Columbus statues, Andre Domino is a spokesperson for the Italian-American One Voice Coalition and is strong in supporting the monuments to the explorer and how Italian-Americans find pride in him, saying to me recently on Currents News.
Well, for me personally, I actually have a personal story because I'm a first-generation Italian-American. My parents both came here from Italy. My grandfather, when he came over, he was a longshoreman, and he was spit upon and paid less on the docks of New York when he worked there. And he saw Columbus Day as the one day of pride for him. And therefore, I think that's the kind of legacy that we should continue for Italian Americans.
Regarding St. Junipero, last month protesters pulled down Serra statues in Los Angeles and San Francisco.
If you're watching Currents News on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button and then click on the bell to get instant updates about all of our newest content, because we are putting your faith in the news.